Oh, sorry. Hello, and welcome to my review of Blood of Gods, the new GWAR album. This album was released by Metal Blade Records October 20th, 2017. It is an album a lot of us were waiting for and a lot of us that weren't. With the passing of founding member Dave Brockie, or Odorous Urungus, a good number of people weren't ready for GWAR to move on. Regardless of what everyone thought, they did, and this is what they conjured up. Is it any good? Let's find out.
Father of war, what troubles my sight? Arrayed against us, the armies unite. The children of earth, they are deceived. The gods will be hanged and swing from the
Alright, so the first song I'm going to talk about is the opening track on the album, War on GWAR. This song starts off with some spoken word by Blothar over a creepy guitar melody. This song immediately lets the listener know what Blothar is capable of and what we can kind of expect from him on the rest of this album. This then explodes into an incredibly doomy riff and scream, which brings us into the meat of the song. I think that was a killer intro and a great way to start off this new album. Next up is El Presidente. This is the second single that they released off this album, and it's a banger. Heavy, groovy, and it's got a pretty sinister chorus in it.
Curse my addiction to your affluence. Here's a simple reason why your country's crying out today. You've ignored your neighbor, now your house is going up in flames. The songs all showed us when they squeezed into the voting booth. America should be afraid of television wars and truth.
GWAR was keeping the heat up on this awesome track from Blood of Gods.
What happened? You lost interest.
I know. The next song I'm going to talk about is called Oricon. It's the first punk-sounding song on the album. I'm glad they added this song in there because it's kind of a throwback to early GWAR, and it transitions nicely into a fucking killer thrash riff.
By the fire, cooled off Hydra, Chimera, we'll sing about it and we can't look away. All we created erupts into flames. How can we know how far you would fall? Bewitched by the shadows that are cast on the wall. Cast down into darkness profound.
Song is definitely my favorite track off this new album. Next is the Sordid Soliloquy of Sawborg Destructo. If I could choose any song on this album and say this sounds like definitive GWAR, this would be that track. The song is very metal, it has a very odorous style of vocals, and it has my favorite guitar solo off this album. Pustulus back on this album, and he's just tearing it up for GWAR. This next song completely took me by surprise. I heard that opening jingle and the voice delivering it, and I flipped.
Don't know what to feed the kids. Do their eyes look sad and sunken? They will surely flip their lids if you bring them to Dickie Duncan.
I was really excited. MC Kris plays this fast food mascot guy that all the kids love. He feeds all the kids poison burgers made of murder and just makes them fat as shit.
All I fucking do is eat and shit all day. Yeah! Feed poison to the kids so that I can get paid.
I beg your pardon, got your shirt and your garments. I'm loving it, my oven mitts are serving up garbage. I'm the mascot, makes you pass out in a park full of perverts. And burgers made of murder served by suicidal servers.
Yeah! All I fucking do is eat and shit all day.
It's like an anti-fast food song about indulging in gluttony, and this song fucking rocks. The last song I'm going to talk about is called Phantom Limb, and in this song they discuss Dave Brockie's death, and they also address the fans on a couple of topics that were bugging them.
The hammer's so heavy. The work is so hard. The chains that bound us together left us all scarred. The burden is greater since we lost your voice. Still they hate us as if we have a choice. It's not about money. It's not about fame. We can never stop. Gotta do it again every day.
At the song's interlude later, the lyrics are,
The road is long and the road is hard on a monster in a van. But the toll it took was so much more than we had ever planned. The world has never looked so dark. The pain never felt so bad. Is it wrong to try to go on? It's all we ever had.
it's a fantastic song and a great way to end the actual album. They have one more song after this. It's an AC/DC cover though, and this is the last original song on the album. I'm assuming they didn't want to end the album on a despondent note, so they threw If You Want Blood, You Got It as the last track on the album. So can this really be considered a GWAR album without the mighty Odorous' vocals on it and his fecal dandruff? Fuck yes. Even though we all miss Odorous dearly, that shouldn't discredit Blothar and what the rest of GWAR has created here. Blothar's vocal performance on this album was fucking fantastic and really did fit well with GWAR's music. The bass was thundering on the entire album as well, and it fucking sounded badass. My one complaint about this album is that there were a lot of rock and roll riffs in there. Don't get me wrong, I dig rock and roll, but I just really wasn't feeling it on some of the songs on this album. But that is not enough to stop me from really enjoying this album. GWAR is still that old bloated carcass that's washed upon the shore of the music industry. Stinky, revolting, and full of sweaty man-utter. GWAR really proves on this album that they're still capable of serving up hefty slabs of whiplash even after the late great Odorous said fuck this place. With that being said, I would still suggest Blood of the Gods to any GWAR fan out there, and that's why I'm giving this album a 7 out of 10. Thanks for checking out this review, and remember, support the music you love.